Good evening. Leading the news this Tuesday, voters went to the polls and prepared for caucuses in 20 states, the biggest event of the presidential primary season. In Panama, riot police fired shotguns and water cannon at hundreds of anti-government demonstrators. Israeli Prime Minister Shamir is reported preparing his own peace plan for the Middle East. We'll have details in our news summary in a moment. Judy Woodruff is in Washington tonight. Judy?
After the news summary, we look first at U.S. policy and options towards Panama with a U.S. senator and one of the Panama Canal Treaty negotiators. Then the controversy over the new Masters and Johnson book on AIDS. Is the danger overstated? And we end this Super Tuesday with essayist Roger Mudd's scenario for a return to the smoke-filled room.
Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir, under criticism for rejecting a U.S. peace plan, is preparing his own proposal. His office said today Shamir would take it to Washington when he goes next Monday. Shamir opposes the plan, or part of the plan, proposed by Secretary of State George Shultz, the exchange of occupied land for peaceful relations with Arab neighbors. There was more violence in those territories today. It came as Israelis held funerals for those killed in yesterday's bus hijack by Arab guerrillas. Michael Cole of the BBC reports.
It was the Israelis' time for grieving. The funerals of the first civilians killed since the Palestinian uprising began 3 months ago. 2 mothers and a widower killed on the bus home from work by Palestinian gunmen. Even as their families were mourning, cooler heads in Israel were calculating that the hijacking by the Palestinians was their first mistake since the War of the Stones began. In Ramallah, women continued the unarmed struggle, chanting, "In the blood and the spirit, we will free Palestine." They say their revolution is white because they're innocent civilians rising up in revolt. The army replied with rubber bullets. But live rounds were exchanged at a village called Masra. In the first 3 months of the Palestinian uprising, the death toll is at least 90.
In Lebanon, a British relief agency official seized 5 days ago was released in Sidon today. The Abu Nidal Palestinian terrorist group released Peter Coleridge of Oxfam and his Syrian aide, Omar. Coleridge said they had not been kidnapped, but detained for questioning for taking pictures of a refugee.